cow has fallen into the gorilla cage.
In this new photo, you could see the tension of a zookeeper as she runs.
Sacrifice your child to Harambe.
He was like, she was talking to her friend on the way over, and she was talking to her friend on the way over, and she was like, I wish we could just push this kid into the gorilla cage and just freak out and sue the fucking zoo for millions of dollars.
The woman who shot the now famous video says she heard the child tell his mom he was going into the enclosure.
I heard the exchange while I'm waiting. The little boy, I'm going to go in. No, you're not. I'm going to go in. No, you're not. The mother turns around to her other children.
Somebody found a hyena cage in the little toddler, but they think he was pushed. It fell into the zoo. It's like really weird.
Yeah.
I'm like,
sacrifice your children to the hyenas. That's pretty heavy too, though.
Right.
That's pretty heavy. Like, you don't want to just go around pushing your kids into the
Yeah. So it's a pattern of behavior. It's not just a one isolated incident. It's actually more than that. It's a complete and total, see that? It's a complete and total absolute expansion of the horizon of how people think about people. I mean, we're talking about, these are animal rights. This is an animal.
Yeah, it's
I have human rights. So I'm just as much have a right as this person. This was thrown into a dumpster and it's now.
Wait, is anything strange?
Okay, I'm laughing.
It's bad for the gorilla. In the long run, it's bad for the gorilla. You know? Well, because the gorilla got judged for it. You know, like, I mean, if you're gonna throw your kids to a gorilla, you have to expect that gorilla will behave gorilla-like. And then judging that gorilla for being a gorilla is absolutely ridiculous. Harambe is a fucking gorilla.
He's a 900-pound exotic, a silverback gorilla that was in the Columbus Zoo, and he was killed because a toddler was either pushed, thrown, dare I say, discarded willingly into the gorilla
Sacrifice to Harambe
in order to try to get some of the king's gold. You know, because I think that what happened here is that George Washington and the crew, they set up a private kingdom. No one ever likes to be told that they're a vassal. You know, especially if their parents were vassals. Yeah. So they said, fuck that shit. And so now, look, okay. I don't even know where to start now. This is great.
It is pretty good. Although laughing at like human sacrifices to gigantic gorillas is pretty good. It's not every day that you get to laugh.
I think what it may be is
it's good to laugh at the darkness sometimes, man. It'll help you deal with it a lot better.
It's one of those things where when you look at it, you realize that you're not in control.
No,
and no one is right now.
Why am I? But like,
don't pick it up. Don't you fucking pick it up. Son of a bitch. Fucking drop it.
This is like the these cars are like this is so beautiful. This
Why is the car?
This car is amazing because and this is like we guaranteed you that in the description that we'd have cats in the video.
There's cats in the video. That's true. Oh, that's so good. You are so good.
The way you're shooting video right now?
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to go the cats looking at the
We're waiting
thing.
until we come up with a subject that's going to take us slightly far.
Well, these can all be clipped out too. I can do these in like segments and shows. I could do like 10 interviews in a row in the same video. People could watch me sit there and interview different people.
Yeah.
And it'll look cool as hell because
Why don't you let's have an interview.
Because fame's not really necessary if you just know a person. It's oh shit.
Yeah, we have to have that mystery.
Oh shit, you know?
There has to be a mystery. People want to hear that interview. If you just give it to them, it's like...
Some things have to be mysterious.
Yeah, it's true. You don't want to just hand somebody like a flaming pile of turd.
Exactly.
You want them to be hungry for it.
Put him in a depraved state for several months.
Yeah, exactly. So the key though is that when you when you act like that, what happens is it kind of combines the necessary factors involved of being an asshole and you sucking. So I deplore you to simply not suck that fucking bad. Because you know what has to happen? We're all in this together. We're 7 billion creatures crawling around on this ball of dirt and rock. We're floating around in outer space. We have no control. No one does. Don't even act illusion of control. While you have NASA, what are you gonna do? Think NASA gives a shit about your ass? I mean, seriously, you're gonna sit here in this planet while it breaks apart in a spaceship full of fucking happy humans or fucking, David Bowie across the universe fucking trying to land on Mars to fucking the first 100,000 people to live on Mars are alive today. They're 5 years old, they're 3 years old, they're 10 years old. They're little now, but they're gonna leave and they're gonna go and they're gonna go to
Mars.
Yeah. So
They've already built like the space stations off of the moon, and people have already realized that you build brick with.
How do you know that they're going to Mars?
Well, because that's the majority of the money that's going to SpaceX and the NASA program. It's all based off of because Mars has riverbeds, so it used to have some sort of liquid that flowed around it, and the theory is that the liquid is possibly water, and if water was reintroduced to the atmosphere of Mars, then it could possibly become a green planet as well. It just needs to have an atmosphere, which may or may not develop naturally once water gets introduced to the atmosphere, but I mean, because it's closer to the sun than the Earth is, but it does have riverbeds, and it does have what look like from satellite images as like great architectural achievements, such as pyramids and a Sphinx face. And
Really?
yeah, there's some pretty cool shit on Mars. Not to mention Martinez in Spanish literally translates to Martian. Just food for thought if you like to, think about shit like that.
a mushroom. It has been shown that a mushroom could essentially be frozen in a chunk of ice and then hurtle across the universe for thousands of years and then impact into a planet and survive. So that for the most part, the mushroom is an alien life form that came to Earth on a meteorite, a ball of ice and rock that traveled across the universe, a part of a comet or something.
Water bears, mushroom spores, insect species like wasps, bees, ants. All of it can be frozen and taken into a zero gravity atmosphere and be thawed out and survive.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, cool. So all that shit has to get ready, because you know what happens if people that don't understand what the fuck's going on are gonna sit around and they're gonna go, well, you know, we're just gonna break up on this planet, like this whole shit is gonna go down and the planet's gonna die and we're just gonna die with it. And the special people are going to go off somewhere to Mars. Yeah. Well, we're saying that we're the special people. We're some of them. We're some of the engineers and the scientists and the investors and the capitalists and the funders that have to get behind this kind of thing. We're the people that get your children, your grandchildren, and your children's children's grandchildren the guarantee that they have a way to get off planet if in the event of a serious disaster, such as a life-ending a comet or a freaking global fire event or a nuclear war or something like that. That you're guaranteed to get someone or something off planet. That includes the Mona Lisa, statues, paintings. We can empty out the Louvre and take it to Mars. If you want, we can leave it in orbit around Earth where you can have your own company facilitate the transfer to Mars. We can also guarantee
same as like if water gets...
In memory of Harambe. I'm here without you, Harambe, but you are still on my lonely mind. I think about you, Harambe, and I dream about you all the time. I'm here without you, Harambe. I'm here without you, Harambe, but you are still on my lonely mind. I think about you, Harambe, and I dream about you all the time.
You build a still suit, and I think I can pull up a.
You could build an eco bubble that would pump out the natural gases necessary to slowly heal the ozone and atmosphere. I mean, that's just common sense, really. I think the only reasons why everything exists to like deteriorate, like the life force, is it's just all out of like whack. Everything's out of balance, and the struggle to try and be in control or accept authority or whatever it is way deeper than it sounds. It sounds simple in vocabulary or whatever.
That is a still suit.
Fuck yeah, it is.
And that's a still suit. So if you can actually, now my concept is this. I love what the furries are doing. I think it's amazing. I think if you look at a couple of the videos.
Did you just say the furries?
Yes, I think that the fursuits actually have the capability of being phase one of like still suits, being able to have because you can put fans in the head, you can put battery packs inside of the costume. I mean inside, and so but anyway, you're inside the suit. What you do is you put and so you make it so that it's sustainable for human life, and then your designs could lead the universe in freaking the capacity to be able to be used. Now, this is a message for all people that are interested in building fursuits, that it is entirely possible to build these things. As you could go on any planet you want. You could travel across the universe with and just be who you are. You're not stuck in this ball of dirt and rock floating around outer space. We live in piles of dirt and rock piled up in piles. It's primitive as hell. We've got boards all around us that frame us all in. We don't need all that shit. We need, because what's going to happen? The atmosphere has become unbreathable. So this planet will have to, the buildings, the structures will have to be modified to be built as a structure that can survive.
I always thought it was a metaphor for your environment, or just your own world, right? You dress yourself the way that you want to be perceived or whatever. So it's if you can build I don't want to call it an ego or whatever, but if you can build a reality that constantly re-nourishes you, you're able to
square.
wander around the desert, so to speak, and ride worms, and just fucking absorb all that spice.
Oh yeah.
The spice is the worm, and the worm is the spice.
This is all from Dune. So this still suit, the idea is basically from Dune, but the concept, the thought, the idea is that's a human thing. We thought that up. Human beings made that, they thought it up, and they said that's a cool idea. And then if you really think about it, it actually is for everyone.
Yeah, I mean,
because
the worm is
we being able to build suits so you and your friends can survive if the atmosphere dies, or if you have to leave the planet, you better be ready. You better build something that you can get the hell off of this ball of dirt and rock that's floating around in space without any control by anything or anyone, and it's just there, and it's floating in an orbit, and there's other shit floating around, and it's a good thing.
It's Spaceship Earth.
Yeah. And then what we have to do is, I think, and this is just me though, I mean, I could be wrong. It's just an idea that I'm developing that may or may not be wrong, that basically it tells people that Harambe is the symbol of the idea that you know what in the hell this is all about. If you know it, then you'll displace some Harambe. You know, you've got to get in touch with your inner Harambe.
Dude, long time killers, bro. Long time killers. Look at that Harambe.
Square. Is that square up there? Is that square? Look up there. And how's the shot look? Does it look cool? Like, is it a clean shot? You see me real well?
It's horrifying. No,
all right. So,
like you guys are like in front of the computers. It looks weird.
Okay. Is it playing? Is it recording still?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
What's so funny?
I go on Google Plus, right? Occasionally. And I've been putting this symbol on it. And I don't know if I'll mortify people or alert them to their own inner demons, so that then everything, their worst fears, they will have to face all at one time, collectively, alone, singly, at one time.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
You know, this is an event where we would say that women and children aren't necessarily first. You know, kind of event. Well, yeah. So
I
if
think
you
that
know,
consciousness in general has to deal with fear. It ain't even like a human thing. That's just part of consciousness as a whole. That's like pretty heavy. Fear sounds easy, but it ain't easy.
What's the symbol? What's the symbol?
oh, the symbol. Yeah, that would be a good one. Here, you know what I'll do is this one. Yeah, here we go. We got to do this as simply as possible, because like now this is a point where I would say that everything is still in production, and that we could really use some help. Patreon, or you can click on a link in the corner that'll tell you that'll take you to a page where you can do like so much on PayPal or something like that, so that we can we want to continue making these videos and all the other videos. We got everything from interviews with bands and artists, and like there's shows, there's fountains, but that's part of the concept that Harambe is an extension of we're laughing now because, like anything, if you laugh now, you will cry later. And what happened was,
it's tragic.
Yes, it was.
It is a tragic tale.
there was a woman in Cincinnati that her and her friend were going to the zoo and taking the kids there, and they discussed the entire way to the zoo, hey, we're gonna push the kid into the gorilla cage, and then the news it'll kill the kid, and we'll be done with the kid, and we'll get us some money. And they were completely fiended out, you know. So they threw this toddler into a gorilla cage, and the other hens in the pod started freaking out, and then to the point where they got what I would say is this, that they became jealous because a male father figure took control of the situation.
A very fatherly force guided them to sacrifice their babies to her already.
Because if you want to argue gorilla rights, that's one thing. So that's the way that this works. Now, so all the fun we're just having, it's great. It's great. We can do so much with so much. You know, the city around us is amazing. Pittsburgh is an amazing city.
That's true.
There are fountains. There are places to go to shows.
There's a confluence of rivers.
There's places where you can see some amazing street art.
There's an old growth forest right outside of town.
There are still abandoned areas where the houses on hillsides have collapsed and been abandoned there, and you can find all kinds of nifty treasures up in there.
Who's Patreon?
Oh, that was a second. Who's Patreon? Patreon. See, if you want to be Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, who else? Almost every great Raphael, great artist, had a patron. A patron, somebody that would, take care of their monthly expenses, help them to produce.